Hey everybody, thank you for joining me today. So today's video, we're going to be working on this Operation Write Home sketch. So this sketch actually has the measurements, so you can pause, write down the numbers, cut your papers, and then come join me at the table. If this is your first time to my channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button and the little notification bell right next to it, so that way you're alerted whenever I upload new content, okay? So here we go. So we're going to be using the same American Crafts paper collection, which is the Jack Frost, but I'm also going to be using this Nuvo paper, which is all silver. Okay, so there's the Jack Frost up close, and I don't know if I switch so you can see the silver or not, but we're going to be using the glitter paper on this one. Okay, so I got everything pre-cut, and what I like to do is on all of my sketches, if you've never seen the series or whatever, I do primarily A2 size cards, which is the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 at the finish fold, okay? And then I do 1/8 of an inch as far as my score line, my mats, and then I measure up from there. So like my base paper, instead of it being, I think they have it at like 4, I want to say it's 4 by 5 1/2 or 5 1/4, excuse me. I actually do my mat at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and then the pattern paper at 4 by 5 1/4. So that way I have an 1/8 of an inch mat, which to me finishes it off very nicely. So once again, because I'm using the lighter weight base paper, I did put white paper in the inside of the card. It helps for also writing our messages. If you want to stamp on the inside, which you can always do. A lot of times on the sketch series, I don't show the inside part only because we're trying to recreate the sketch itself, which is just on the front side. But obviously, you can always also stamp on the inside. You could take part of the pattern paper, like you know how you have scraps. You could cut a thin strip and put it on the inside to tie it into the front. So there's a lot of different things you can do. And just in case, if you've never seen me do it, yes, I used tape and glue, and I do that because it allows me just a little bit of wiggle room time to be able to pull it back up if I need to, if I don't put my papers down straight, which happens. All right, so now we're going to the darker gray with the pattern paper. I'm using the one with the words on it, so it's got like "Let It Snow." What other words are on here? They got snowball fight. I already said "Let It Snow." Burr. Igloo. They got snowflakes on it. It's got all kinds of stuff. Snow reference, right? So I'm using that, and then I'm using white paper for the mat. Now, this one is already a lighter color. So what I could have done is inked the edges around the pattern paper. So when I laid it on top of the mat, it would stand out a little bit more. It doesn't bother me, but I'm just letting you know of an option, okay? Now, the glitter paper, I did, yeah, it's 1 1/2 by, I think it's like, what is it, 2 1/2 or something like that? I forget. I can't see. It's too small up in the upper right hand corner, and I don't have the sketch in front of me. But you could, and I thought about doing it, you could make a banner, like cut a little flag out of the end. You could cut it on a diagonal. I wanted to keep this one straight because later on in the series, not next week's, but the week after that, I think I have the one where it is cut on an angle. So I didn't want to do it twice. So for this particular card, though, I didn't want to do the long white strip as my sentiment. So I cut it down. And I took one of the stamp set that said "Let It Snow," and I created a small mat for that and created a nice little yeah, framed sentiment to go on top. Okay, so now that that's set up, just as an idea, if you wanted to keep it a little bit taller as far as what's pictured on the sketch, you can do that. And you could use a long sentiment, you could use a flower, you could use whatever you want on there and create your image. I didn't have a big enough sentiment that I wanted to use, so that's why I made mine, I shrunk it down, okay? And now on the side where they have the two circles, I'm actually going to use some gems from, I want to say this is Picket, hold on, I think those are the Picket, nope, Pink Fresh. These are Pink Fresh gems, and they are the Stargazer. And what I liked about these is that even though they're black, when you tilt them in the light, they give off a blue color that matches the collection perfectly. So on this one, I used the 2 gems, and then on the other one that I did off camera, I'm gonna wind up using the 3 little stones. You'll see that in the final picture because I forgot to put it together before I started recording. So instead of having you sit through me doing the whole thing all over again, you'll see them in the final pictures, okay? They're a little different this time, but thank you guys so much for joining me today. Like I've said before, please consider hitting the like button and leave a comment down below. And if you're not a subscriber and you would like to become one, just hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell for me, okay? And I hope you guys are enjoying the series and continue to have a blessed and safe new year, okay? And we will see you guys with next week's video. Have a good one.